Hi, this is Connie Haxby, licensed clinical social worker, and I went back and forth on the subject matter that I wanted to cover in my video today regarding the coronavirus. I thought about doing something in regards to how to keep your sanity during this, things that you can do at home to pass the time. And I kind of figured like those were things that you can probably Google and find on any given website if those are things that you're interested in. And I'm sure that you've probably been through a ton of things at this point that you have done to keep yourself occupied while at home during these trying times. And so the thing that I thought was really important that we could discuss and remember during this time is the concept of what we can control versus what we can't control, and how important it is to remember those things during times that we honestly don't have a lot of control over, such as, what is being shut down, when this is going to pass, what other people are choosing to do with their time, how they're choosing to react to the situation. Those are all things that we can't control about this. But what we can control, apart from the tangible things, which are, how we spend our time, if we choose to social distance ourselves, what we're doing to keep some kind of structure and routine in our lives. The biggest thing that we can control is what we're telling ourselves in our mind about this situation. And there's probably a lot of what ifs going on in a lot of folks' minds at this time. What if this doesn't get better? What if I get sick? What if I lose my job? What if I can't pay my bills? And the thing that the what if does is that it really just feeds into that anxiety, because we do what if, and then we have just all of this anxiety hanging out up in the air, and it never gets concluded. There's never any solution to the what if. And so I'm really going to challenge you, when you think about this what if, to challenge yourself to think about okay, so what are my options? So if I can't pay my phone bill, then this is what I'll do. So I will dip into savings. I will call the phone company and see if I can get an extension. I will, call up a friend or a family member to see if they can loan me some money during this time. Now, not all of the options are going to be things that we want to do. I tell folks in the office when we go over this concept that, the options sometimes are looking for the lesser of all of the evils. So even though you might have 3 or 4 options and you're like, all of those options actually don't really sound very great and I don't want to do any of those, sometimes you have to look at, okay, but what is the least, difficult option out of those things that I would want to do in order to make this happen? So those are some things to look at when you're doing the what if, because there's always options that you have. Again, it may not be the most optimal option that you can think of, but there's got to be at least some options to some of these things, these what ifs that we have, so filing for unemployment, again, dipping into savings, looking for ways to cut costs elsewhere, maybe doing some bartering, for people. If someone is continuing to, work, and so finances maybe aren't an issue for them, maybe you say, okay, so I'll mow your lawn, for money, or I will fix your car, if you can buy me groceries. So I think we're really kind of getting back to the basics of life with all of this stuff going on. And I don't think that all of it is necessarily a bad thing either, and I might get a lot of flack for that. But I feel like with the improvements that we're seeing with the smog and all of the pollution, I think is good. I think, I am an outdoorsy person anyway, and so I'd be outdoors regardless. But going to the park and going to the dog park and taking walks and going on bike rides and hikes and things of that nature, of course, as long as I can do it safely, it's been really nice actually to see a lot more people and a lot more families out and about, being more active and getting more fresh air. So I feel like that's a positive of this as well. I'm also seeing a lot more families eating dinner together, because they can't go out to eat and they are at home together. And so there's a lot less of this, Jimmy gets home from work, school at 3 and he eats dinner, and then mom gets home at 5, and then dad gets home at 7, and everybody, is kind of doing their own thing. So I'm seeing a lot more quality family time as well. So I feel like as long as we can keep a positive mindset on the things that we can control in this situation, we're all going to get through it. It's something that none of us have ever lived through before, and it's a really difficult thing to try to adjust to. But I think that we're all going to get through it and just continue to show that support and community and be there for your fellow person and do the best that you can do. Again, because there's so much that we can't control. So until next time, keep yourself safe and, do the right thing. Continue with your social distancing, continue doing things that are good for you, and we will see you back here soon. Thanks.